Welcome to Nikki Speaks TV, you guys. I am so excited to introduce my longtime friend, Derrick Butts, who is an executive, coach, and marketing strategist. I've known him for over 15 years. Today's topic is how to think like a winner. I cannot wait for you to hear. Stay tuned. Welcome to Nikki Speaks TV, the relationship series. The pandemic forced us all to slow down and do an assessment of our relationships. Whether you're dating, engaged, married, or divorced, we'll share tools to help everyone. Join me this season as my guest and I talk about all things relationships. Welcome to Nikki Speaks TV, Derrick Butts. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Yes.
Tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Well, you just told my name. I'm Derrick Butts with Assist You to Win. First off, thank you for having me. It's been such a long time, and I appreciate you having me today. So I have the awesome privilege of being a part of Assist You to Win. You know, I get asked all the time, what do I do?
Right.
It's really who I am. It's Assist You to Win.
Okay.
So then from that flows what I do. I get the privilege of just coming alongside of people, finding out what's important to them, and then just finding different strategies and solutions and principles to help them accomplish those wild dreams.
I love it. I love it. So we've known each other for quite a while. Almost 15 years, I think?
Yeah, at least. Yeah. Soraya is 15. She just got a permit. So yeah, it has to be at least be 15 years.
Yeah, because I remember when she was in your wife's belly at the time and all of that. And we were praying for her to get here safely, and she did. And so that's awesome. That's awesome. So also, not only that, we've done so many different events together, from the Voice Conference, and what else did we do?
So
Open
the Voice
mic
Conference,
night.
Open mic nights at Jamaica Gates. Yes,
Yep.
those are beautiful. Then we also did things with in Oklahoma at the retreat.
Right.
Then we went to California with the retreat with Diane and some of the breakthrough retreats. And
Lisa Nichols.
of course, Lisa Nichols.
So long history. And,
Yeah.
I just always admired you and appreciate, all the help that you had given me along the way. Even as a coach, I feel like, not only were we colleagues, so to speak, but we also, you were able to pour into me and help me in so many ways. So I appreciate that. And I know that today's topic is on how to think like a winner.
Yeah.
So share with the audience what that means.
During this COVID phase, and now, of course, we're outside of it, a lot of people felt and started to go through things that they may have not have been in because they had to experience life in a different way. And so in the course of that, we had to pivot, shift, do different things with our businesses. And as I started seeing people do that, we had advances in technology, or at least we used technology in greater ways.
Right.
So people kept winning, but they were winning differently. And so one of the things that I did is I took the time to really meditate. It seemed like so many people flooded social media, they flooded the airwaves, where I decided I was going to pull back for a minute, retreat, and just regather and find out, where do I fit in this season? And with that, it came out the word wintality. Everything for me comes around Assist You to Win, the winning, and how do you have Wednesday? And this what got birthed this time was wintality, think like a winner. That people's mindset started to be attacked because they found themselves locked away. Right. And I wanted to really help people with their thought life, because we focus so many times on the skill sets, but people forgot to focus on the mentality. And so mentality is the combination of your mentality plus your ability. And I say it equals out mentality.
Mentality, I love that. Well, I know, the line of work that I do, and I've been working with clients all over the world, especially during the pandemic. It was heightened. And, so many people were having trouble with anxiety, depression, and like you said, just their thought life and managing that. Did you find anything in your season of, maybe silence and taking a break? Did you find anything to think about, to focus on, that allowed you to be able to kind of rebuild and structure your business? when you came back?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things that I had to do, even for me, I kind of got attacked because I was used to going.
Right.
And I had to learn how to be okay with just slowing down and knowing that slowing down doesn't mean that you're not effective because I'm not as busy.
Right.
And so with that, though, you have a bombardment of thoughts that just start to hit you. So what I had to do was really redefine words and redefine what success looked like. I think that was the biggest thing, is redefine what success looked like, redefine my timeline, because you know how it is that we think we should be somewhere a lot sooner than we really are. And I had to start appreciating the fact that I'm just where I am and it's okay. So I redefined
that part.
that part. It's okay. Yeah, it took me a minute though, right?
Yeah.
Because I was used to traveling, used to speaking, used to being online, used to always talking to somebody. That in the midst of redefining that, I had to learn how to be okay with me, talking to me, speaking good things about me, and redefining what success looked like in a different season.
Do you think sometimes we can get lost in the doing? You know,
Oh yeah.
Finding something new to do, and you know, because I think that people went through that during the pandemic, and I know I did. I mean, I was like, okay, because you had to rethink, you had to pivot, you had to find different ways to monetize on your gifts. And so, speak to the person that is still maybe stuck in that season of doing. What would you say to them?
Well, to that person, you know what I would say? I think I really had to learn, and this is what made me revamp even what I do, and that is that you can have the capability to do something, but not always the capacity to do it.
That part.
And just because you can doesn't mean you need to.
Yes.
And I got to the place where I was doing things because I felt that my gift could do it, or I felt that if I was asked to do it, I had to be either somebody saw that something in me and said, oh yeah, you can do this. So I guess I had to perform in order for me to continue to either get another opportunity. Where then I had to realize just because you have capability doesn't mean you have the capacity and that you have to do it. So I had to learn to say no a lot more in this season because the no strengthened my yes. Right? It strengthened my yes. It strengthened the things that I was supposed to say yes to by saying no to the things that I shouldn't have been doing anyway.
Well, what if you want to do it all?
Yeah, you know, and we do, right?
I mean, how do you prioritize which one you start with, and you know?
Yeah. So for me, what I did in the prioritizing, I asked myself questions. I think everything comes with, you know, whatever question you ask turns out to be the answers you get. So you got to ask the right questions.
Right.
So I'd ask myself the question, first off, what gives me the greatest return? And I focused on what would give me the greatest return, right? Return on investment. We always hear that. But for me, it was return on ideas. I'm always having ideas because that's just what a lot of times people come to me for, is that here's my idea. How can you enhance it? How can we launch it? How can we move it? Right. So I had to focus on what's the return on my ideas that also met the return on the investment. Right. I didn't want to just be doing to do. I had to be doing to make impact as well as being effective in my own life. So that was the first question. What's the greatest return? The second question I asked myself is, what's required of me and me only?
I like that.
That question caused me to do a lot of eliminating.
Okay.
Right? It caused me to do a lot of eliminating because I realized that I was doing things that somebody else could do and should do, but I was doing it because I always wanted the ball. And so I had to start to release some of those things because now, as I've been telling others and telling myself, is you can do a lot and be a player, but you're only going to do a few things and be an expert.
Right, right. And it's so interesting that you brought up the basketball or the ball period. How does this apply to sports? I know you do a lot with sports teams and things like that.
Yeah. Sports, I love it, especially high school sports. You know, high school sports is like my thing. I think how it applies there is the mentality side.
Okay.
We send our kids to camps, skill. We send our kids to a private coach, skill. We send our kids to the weight room, skill. So we always focus on the ability side. But where most kids miss it is in the mentality side. Why? Because we do a lot of comparison. We compare Johnny to the next person. We compare Sally to the next girl versus looking at somebody and say, what's the development of you? How are you developing you to outdo you not in comparison to.
Compete with yourself, right?
That's it. Competing with yourself and always trying to be the next best version of you, even inside of that. But that's a mental game, right? It's a mental game because the applause many times goes to quote unquote, who's the best. But I need just to be the best me, and let's see how far I can take that.
Right. I love that. Well, you know, in terms of you, you've always been, the thing that I love about our friendship is that we've been like coasting alongside each other.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of a friend that, because I ran track, and there was one girl, Tasha Jones.
You still remember?
Hey, Tasha. We're still friends today on social media. I haven't seen her in, I don't know, 30 years. But, you know, one thing about Tasha, if you have her tell it, she always was, you know, I always won everything. And if I tell it, I felt like she did. But when we were racing, she would be right there. Like she would be my peripheral view. You know, we would be just, you know, kind of coasting or what have you. I always wanted to win. I always wanted to beat her. But at some point, you know, sometimes she would pull ahead or I would pull ahead. And I remember my coach would tell me, as soon as you approach the line, lean over. And I don't know if it's because I was a little height challenged or not, but maybe that's why I won, because she was taller. But I just remember us having this synergy, you know, just an appreciation and respect for each other. Yeah. And I knew if I went to that track meet that I didn't care about anybody else that was going to show up, people I hadn't run against, people that I had. I knew that she was going to be my biggest competition because she was going to pull me and push me to succeed and to lean over across the line. And so that's why, you know, I wanted to interview you. You know, I've been trying to get you on this, on my show forever, because you do that, you know, not only to me, but you do that to the people that are in your circle, you know, and I can respect that. Why is that important to you, to push the people that are in your circle to succeed and to win?
Well, I think that we hear it always said that, you know, show me your closest 5 friends and I'll show you your future.
Right.
And that's the reason why, as you say, you're doing what you're doing, I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, you introduced me to Elisa Nichols. You know, you told me about the conference. And so it's a mutual thing that's been happening with us for years. Right. And I think it's important for us to have a circle like that because you're going to always find yourself facing the time that you'll want to just quit. Right. You're going to find that time where you don't want to push to get better, push to break through, push to go to the next level.
So true.
And the circle sees something sometimes in you that you don't always see in yourself. Right. And the circle says, I can't let you stay right here because there's so much more in you. Right. If you allow me to just speak in a way that nudges you, because, you know, we build what we birth, we drop what we adopt, so it's already in you. Right. You just need that person to just push you and go. Because guess what I know? The very thing that I do for one is going to be done to me. That's so because true. There's going to be a time where I'm going to need that same level of push because we're all human and I'm going to want to quit.
That's why I kept texting you saying, right, where you at? Where you at?
And you did. And it's one of those things that your accountability circles, I always say, is the secret sauce to your dreams and goals.
I like that.
It's not the idea that you have. Mm-hmm. We all have them, right? On the way here, I was just thinking about it. You know, many people, they look and say, okay, I have an aha moment, but I don't have the application. What's the missing ingredient? It's the accountability. That piece. It's the accountability. Right. That's what causes people to be consistent over a long period of time. Right. Is who's in that circle.
That's so true. Thanks for connecting with us today. Nikki Speaks Therapy is a platform that focuses on sharing tips, tools, and strategies to help you have a healthier and happier life. Follow us at NikkiSpeaksTherapy.com to stay up to date on all Nikki Speaks events. I'm so glad you're here. Tell us about your book.
Oh, yes, my book. Make Every Day a Wednesday, right? Yes. So Make Every Day a Wednesday was all about focusing on the day. It was about just knowing that every day is not going to be perfect, right? But every day we can find ways to win and find ways to win even through the things that we fail in. Failing forward is winning. You know, failing in something is winning. You know, being willing to attempt, being willing to stretch yourself to go to the next place. So the book starts off with a mind shift, not mindset.
Okay.
you hear mindset, and I think it's great, it's a good word, but before you have a mindset, I think people need a mind shift.
Right.
We need to shift our thinking before we set our thinking. Because if it's set in the wrong way, it will always be wrong.
Right.
But if we shift it to where it's right, then we're in the right place. So we start with mind shift, then we talk about the methods. That's kind of where we get into the details of even some of the things we do from a coaching standpoint. Right. You need proven methods in order to win. We call them principles, transferable truths that work no matter who's working them. Right. And then the final phase of the book, we talk about mastery. Mastery is the repetition. What am I repeating on a day-to-day basis? You know, I said something to a group of people just the other day. I said, you know, I always say repetition is the foundation of mastery. Too many people have repeated failure and they've mastered how to fail.
Wow.
Where good. Now we have to reprogram that so we find what's the habits to help us go and to be successful, and then let's repeat those.
Apply those to winning.
And it applies those to winning. So that's what the book is. Make every day a Wednesday. You can make every day a Wednesday, Winsday.
I love it. What's your why? What's your purpose? Why do you do what you do and help the people that you impact?
You know, my why comes from the graveyard, realizing that I'm not going to always be here and the baton has to be passed. But if I don't first run the leg, I can't pass the baton. You talked about track earlier.
Right.
You don't start the race handing the baton. Somebody has to run. But I know that there's going to be a point where I have to stop. Life is just going to end. Right. And if I don't run my race right and pass the baton, what was in me will go to the grave. And I don't want that. So when I think about the grave, I think about my why. Is that there's stuff in me that has to come out. And I'm going to make sure I get it out.
Right. Speak to that person that's so interesting you said that, because I always say that I want to die dormant. You know, I want everything, like you said, to be birthed with God's help, of course. But speak to the person that knows they have more inside of them, but they have fear. They're afraid to step forward into whatever that is and to take that first step. Because sometimes that's the hardest to do is to take the first step towards what you know you need to do.
Can I look? I'm gonna look at you. Let me talk to you real quick.
Absolutely.
I just want to talk to you real quick. Let me talk to you real quick. So come on, lean in a little bit. Lean in a little bit. No, but seriously, I want you to hear this. Is you're competent. That's what I want you to hear. Number one, you are competent. You have it. So it's not your competence that keeps you from your calling. Many times it's your confidence. The fact that I have allowed previous failures, people's opinions, past mistakes. I've allowed the expert to speak in a way to either put a lid or a label on me, which has caused you to say to yourself, I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. It's not for me to do it. It's for somebody else. But let's go back to the beginning. You're competent. Now you need to have the confidence. You got to let somebody breathe life back into you. And you might say, how do I do that? I'm going to give you a simple way. First thing I'm going to tell you is lock yourself in a room where it's just you and you. It's just you and you. And know this right now, that what's in you is supposed to come out of you. You got to get to the place where you believe it, to the point where you behave like you believe, because you're competent. I just need you to increase your confidence.
I love that. And I know you're going to impact so many people by saying that. You know, believing that you have it in you and then also stepping into that, I think is just essential in that competency. Yeah. You know, I don't think we always have that. So tell us what you're up to. Like what programs do you have? What's next for you?
Yeah. So I'm excited, you know. As the silent period happened for me, I really started to have a lot more forethought about my business and about just how people go about even our planning. So what's up for me is in September, I'm going to be running programs that's called, you know, Finishing Strong and Starting Better.
Okay.
Next year is a 23 year. I really believe it's like a Jordan type year for people. So I got this like the Jordan experience. So we've planned out the entire next year. April 13th of 2023 is going to be just flat out bananas. So I'm going to
What's
have
happening?
I'm telling you, it's called the National I Can Conference.
I love it.
So we hear one of the scriptures, if you're a Christian, not a Christian, you heard it at some point in your life. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And you just asked about that person that has that can in them. They know they can. So I want to help people turn their I cans into I dids. So on April 13th, 4/13, see how we did that? At April 13th, we're having the National I Can Conference, where I'm going to really encourage people, motivate people, stir people, and challenge people on taking their I cans and turning into their I dids. And so next year man, I'm so excited about next year. Now, with what we do, we have small windows of people that we can impact. And then we have a time for a large window of people. So April 13th is for everybody. Some of the other things, it's like 10 to get in, right? We only lose like 10 people at a time. And the reason why I shifted my model is because we don't need from the stage any more, oh, that's good.
Right.
I need more action and impact. And I realize when I go in smaller settings, we go deeper. When it's from the stage, you're consuming content and you're just a note taker. And I'm looking for people to have results that when they look back, they say, I knew it was in me. I just needed somebody to pull it out of me. So that's what we're doing next year. We're just going to impact people on a day-to-day basis.
Conference.
I can.
Just do it.
Yeah. Turn the I cans into I dids.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and segue into social media.
Okay.
And so let the people know, the audience know how they can reach you, where to find you, and get in contact with you to work with you.
Yeah. So social media, we're on pretty much all the platforms, and we kind of tried our best to make it real easy. It's assist you to win. Now it's assist, the letter U, the number 2, win. So we're on TikTok. Now we just started, so don't look at my TikTok. I ain't got a lot of followers right now because we just started on TikTok. But we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, and we're also on YouTube. So we're on pretty much the major social media platforms. It's all under Assist You to Win. Reach out to us, follow us. That's the best place to do. Start following us, start consuming the content, get to know us, let us get to know you. Let's see if we're a good fit.
Any closing remarks of inspiration?
So the closing remarks I have is this. Listen. So we're here with Nikki Speaks. We're here with Nikki Speaks, right? So we're here with Nikki Speaks. So Nikki has consistently done a couple of things for the world, not just for me, but for the world. And that is, she's let you know that you have a voice and your voice matters and your voice needs to be heard. So we used to do this thing called open mic nights. And in open mic nights, it was fun because anybody knows her, if you follow her page, you're looking on different things, you're going to see her taking pictures. You're going to see her dancing, right? You're going to see her traveling. You're going to see her with her kids. You're going to see her exercising. You're going to see her in her faith, right? That's kind of the place you're going to see her. So you understand the vibe that comes with her. Now, in open mic nights, we would allow people just to share because people had a message, but they didn't have a stage. So she created a stage for people to speak on, to talk to. Now, we're going to host before 2022 is out. Before 22 is out, we're going to host an open mic night challenge.
Yes.
Battle of the sexes.
Yes.
Like, can the men
The great debate.
The great debate. That's what it's called?
That's what
okay,
it's
there
called.
it is. There it is. She just dropped it. The great debate. The men, the women, put us in a room. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the whole thing. Like have a jar. Can we have a jar? Let people throw the questions in. Yeah. We just pull a question out and then we just debate about it.
I think that would be good. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah.
So we're gonna do open mic night. We're gonna do it. Fishbowl. We're gonna do it. So seriously, Nikki Speaks. My closing remarks is simply this: is that you're following a great person. You're following somebody that's a world changer, a game changer, somebody that can up-level your life, that can really take you to the next level. I'm honored to be able to say she's my friend, she's a colleague, she's one that I can trust, that she is going to help us do exactly what she said she's going to do, and that is go to the next level. Nikki Speaks. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for being on my show. And that's it, guys. Thank you for joining Nikki Speaks TV today. I'm looking forward to next time. Thank you all for joining my show today on Nikki Speaks TV, the Relationships Series. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Twitter. Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube, or you can visit me at nikkispeakstherapy.com. See you next time.